Hey everyone, Amanda Winchester here. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm going live on 2 different platforms simultaneously. Ooh, fancy. Hey everyone, Amanda Winchester here, your healthy lifestyle coach. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I have us actually live streaming, hopefully, knock on wood, on YouTube as well as Facebook. What? I know, crazy, right? I am trying all the buttons today. So today, guys, I am talking to you about blue light. Some of you have messaged me. This is day one of 4 days that we're going to be talking about this as an online mini series. Compliments from, hey Wendy, compliments from me to you to kind of talk about the subject. Now, I've had some mixed reviews. If you haven't already joined the event, I encourage you to. There is a poll in there that will help you kind of gauge if the blue light is actually having any effect on you directly or people that your loved ones, right? My husband, I see, popped online too. So hi. So anyway, we're going to jump right into it. Some of you may not know what blue light is. I've had some feedback stating that some people aren't really aware of what it is. Other people know what it is, but they thought that it was, cool, and it's just a really brilliant light and something that you enjoy because we're attracted to it, which I'll get into in just a moment. And then other ones have, kind of know that there are some negative effects, but they're really not sure to what extent. So I'm not going to dive into all of the details today. Today's day one, like I said, of day 4 of 4 days, rather, and I'm going to be breaking it into bite-sized pieces. So today, as you can see, I am joining you at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we're talking about tonight what blue light is and how it is affecting you and your loved ones. Now, day 2, what we'll be doing is we'll be diving into what it's actually doing to our bodies and how to, and then day 3, sorry, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Day 3, we'll be talking about tips to addressing tips to, hey Danielle, to allow you to minimize your exposure. And then day 4, we'll be wrapping it up with providing you with healthier options, healthier choices, so that you and your loved ones can start minimizing those effects very effectively and very easily from home and the home, your office, school, all the places that we're being exposed. So as you're tuning in, say hi in the comments. Let me know if you're tuning in from Facebook or if you're watching me live from YouTube. I am excited that we're streaming simultaneously, which is a big thing for me. So hopefully it's working okay. And I'm curious to let me know if it is working. You can hear me okay? Stephen, my husband, says waving hands. So day 1, guys, we're talking about what it is. So diving into that, what some of you may not realize, and I'm not going to get into the entire scientific explanation of blue light because full disclosure, obviously, I am not a scientist. I'm not an expert in this area. However, I have been doing some research over the last couple of weeks, mainly because of the fact that our family and some of my clients have actually been noticing similar effects on their bodies. And so I really thought it was a really important topic to come live and teach you guys about this weekend. And I know for the Canadians, just before I dive in, not to go off on a side tangent or anything, but to anybody who is celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend in Canada, happy Thanksgiving. I know that, and I thank you for inviting me into your home even on this long weekend, which of course starts officially tomorrow for those of you with children in school, and for the rest of you would probably be starting on Saturday. But thank you for joining me for this mini series and inviting me into your home to explore this. I thought that I debated on whether or not to actually do it over the Thanksgiving weekend, but then I decided, you know what, when everyone has their homes full of family and friends, what better way and better time to talk about this topic. And if you are watching the series when you have company, I encourage you to avoid the blue light and not get distracted and actually go enjoy that time with your friends and family. And you will be able to catch the replay, but I thank those of you who are joining me live, and especially those in the US and international that are not celebrating any type of holiday this weekend. So guys, the sun radiates 7 colors, going to dive right in, and they absorb or reflect light. And you can research that. I'm not going to go into the details as to the different spectrums of that, but basically what it is those 7 colors, whether they absorb or reflect light, is what allows us to have colors. You can see this green blanket behind me, and that's because of the way that it's absorbing or reflecting the light. Same thing as my lips look a little bit of a shade of pink, and I have a blue shirt on, and so on. So it allows our eyes to adjust and see these different colors. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Shalina and Jenny. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. And so what's really cool about that is because of all these light shades that are coming through the sun, it allows us to see in color. And unfortunately, of course, as you know, there are some people that are colorblind, which I won't touch on today. But basically, this is a series for those of you who can actually see those different light shades. Now, one thing is each shade of those 7 colors has what's called a wavelength. And that varies, and the varying degrees of that is what actually allows us to have varying colors, which is really cool. It also allows us to have different energy effects on our bodies and different ways that we react to that. I'm nervous today, guys. Let me know if you go live. I've been on live forever, so bear with me. So guys, with blue light though, it is actually the shortest and the highest energy wavelength. And so what that means is, in short, you think, okay, well, if it has higher energy, I want more of it, right? And that's what your brain and your body is actually doing. We're attracted to it. We're naturally attracted to it because of the way that it makes us feel, right? But the bad thing is that overexposure is has very negative effects on our bodies and our brains and all sorts of things. But we gravitate to it and it stimulates our brains. And so we want more and more of it, which is unfortunately what some people use as what they call blue light therapy. Now, I'm not going to get into a debate on my views on that. If you are a person that has tried that therapy or know someone that has and it's worked for you, that is wonderful. And I high five you. Personally speaking, I don't believe in it just because of the fact of the research that I've been doing, which I'm trying to share with you guys in this mini series. It does have a lot of negative effects, even though in the short interim, it may give you positive effects, which I won't go into because that's a whole other topic. But with the blue light, it actually helps regulate our sleep cycles. Okay, and so if we're getting too much blue light, we're interrupting that regulation. So with the natural blue light and the natural light, as you can tell from the sun, our bodies are naturally built to react to that. And so what it does, my words here, what it does is it creates a type of a serum in our body. It's called melatonin, and melatonin, some people take supplements of that. Now, if you, don't be nervous, thanks, Gina. I am, though. I'm just fumbling all over this thing. It's a topic that I'm so passionate about. But, okay, so let's back up because I'm jumping ahead. I wanted to talk to you also about the prolonged exposure and what it does to you. The prolonged exposure, guys, is detrimental to your health. And and I'll get into in just a moment how we're getting where we're getting that actual exposure from. But the types of things, like I've had so many questions since I launched this little mini series, kind of preamble, asking me like, what is it actually doing to my body? Well, in short, guys, it's disrupting your sleep. And I'm going to mention and talk about that a little bit more in detail in just a moment. It also causes eye strain. It can cause serious health diseases like heart disease and diabetes. And I'm going to be diving into all the details of that in the next coming days. It affects mental health. It can cause depression. It can cause obesity. I know these are all crazy things, and you're like, how in the world does blue light affect all these things, right? I know, because I was there, and that's why I was like, the more I dove into it, I was like, people need to know this because it's something that a lot of people aren't talking about, and we are exposed more and more every single day, and it's crazy. And it can even cause some cancers, which is insane to me. But natural exposure is not a bad thing. If we have some blue light exposure, it's a good thing. And that's where the blue light therapy comes in moderation, right? And for specific reasons, if you and your health professional have decided that that's good for you, then obviously I'm not going to talk you out of it. However, I'm just asking you to do your research and stay for this 4-day event, and maybe it'll give you some better understanding as to what you are encountering with your body and going into that. With the natural blue light, though, the natural exposure, that's where day and night comes in. And through that day and night is where our body levels out the melatonin. And what melatonin does is it allows us to get into a proper sleep mode. It allows our bodies to understand also when to awake, which is why, for those of you, if my mom's watching, she calls herself a night owl, and I was there. Let me know if you consider yourself a night owl where you feel more productive at night. It's actually detrimental to your health to do that And we're going to be touching on the details of that, like I said, over this weekend. But it really is not a healthy choice to do. And so that's where, again, day 4, we're going to be talking, that's just one part of it, guys, some healthier choices to be able to help you and your loved ones be able to, first of all, start reducing your exposure as well as healing some of the effects that your bodies are already enduring, because there is still hope, even though you've been, and of course, I'm a hope advocate, there is still hope if you've been being exposed to high amounts of it, myself included. And I'm going to talk to you just now about the unnatural types of exposure that a lot of us are getting on a regular basis. Now, you're getting blue light exposure that is unnatural and unhealthy through cell phones, televisions, computers, different types of therapy, like I said, digital light sources like LED fluorescent lights. Like when I was working outside of the office, like outside of my home office, guys, fluorescent lighting was everywhere. And I couldn't understand why I wasn't able to concentrate and all of that. So these are all some of the effects of what we have. And these are higher exposure concentrations, which are way worse than the sun exposure that we're getting. And, you know, a lot of people talk about the sun exposure and the negative effects of that. However, on the flip side, a certain amount of that can actually be a healthy benefit to our bodies and our minds, and all sorts of things, like I said, that we're going to be talking about. Tablets, of course, are another thing. So that's what I wanted to kind of share with you guys today about day 1, what blue light is and how it's actually affecting our body and where those sources are coming from. Let me know in the comments, though, what your top takeaway is today. I know that we're not getting into the nitty gritty, but maybe you've had an aha moment where you're like, okay, I've been having like eye strain, or I've been having some concentration problems, or maybe you've been dealing with some more serious issues like heart disease or diabetes, and it could be directly linked to the exposure that you're getting from home or from your devices or from the office or from your school. And it could be affecting your children as well. It is affecting your children as well. So day 2 tomorrow, guys, we're going to be talking, like I said, about what it's doing to our bodies in depth. We're going to be going into each of those health issues and how it's affecting us. And I know that's kind of like the blah day, right? It's like all the negative things, but we'll be talking about the hope that comes after that and getting you out of that. So we're going to be meeting here at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Saturday, the same time, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be talking about tips to address the exposure and how to start avoiding that. And then on the 4th day rather, Sunday, we'll be meeting here again at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look like I'm lagging. Hopefully you guys can hear me still. And we're going to be looking at healthier options and choices so that we can get you and your family feeling better, thinking better, and start undoing all those negative effects that the blue light exposure has already been doing to your bodies. So thanks again for joining me today, guys. This is day 1. I'm Amanda Winchester, your healthy lifestyle coach, and I look forward to teaching you guys right here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Take care.